Hello, welcome to today's lesson on merging. Whenever the concept of merging is mentioned, there is always the presence of multiple tables. But why do companies split their data into multiple tables? It is simply because if they should place all the information they have or all the data they have into one table, the table is going to be too large and unmanageable. There will be presence of duplicate entries. Let's say a company has customer information, product details, order information, sales details. If they place all this information into just one table, it's going to be too large and it will be very difficult for the company to manage such table. So that's why they split into different tables. But when it comes to analyzing the data, gaining insight into the data present in those tables. Each of those tables don't really make sense on their own. And that is where the concept of merging comes in, where we have to combine these different tables together to actually make or to actually gain insight from them. There are many ways in which we can perform merging, or there are different ways to perform merging depending on what we want to achieve. One of them is inner merge, the other one is outer merge, left merge, right merge, and concatenation. When we talk of inner merge combines tables with similar columns, merging all matching rows of one column to the other and eliminating all the unmatching rows. So first, I have created three data frames, which are player data frame, goals data frame, and assist data frame. So first, let's just visualize them to see how they are before we perform merging. So let's visualize the player data frame. Okay, we have name and ID column. Then let's visualize the goal data frame. We have goals and ID. Okay, let's look at the assist data frame. Let's go up. We have ID and assist. So what we want to merge the goals and the player data frame together so that we can get the player's name as well as the goal that the player scored. So to do that, we use pd dot merge. Then we pass in the first the first data frame, and then the second one. By default, this perform inner merge if we don't specify anything. Let's say we want to save it to df. Now let's visualize, let's confirm our operation. So you can see we have been able to merge the player and the goals data frame together using the ID, because the ID is the column that is similar between between the player data frame and the goals data frame. But what happens here is that if if this ID in the goals and that of the name is not matching, it's going to eradicate it from this data frame. And the other method of performing inner join is by specifying the first data frame first and then dot merge and then the second data frame. Now let's name our resulting data frame df. So you can see it gives the same result as the other method. There are times that you want to merge three tables or three data frames together. Let's say in this example, you want to merge the player data frame, the goals data frame, and the assist data frame. So we specify the first data frame dot merge, then the second one dot merge, then the third one assist. Let's name our resulting data frame as df. So df dot add. So you can see we have successfully joined the three data frames together, or the three tables together. So you can now see that Rob scored 10 goals and gave 10 assists. Mata scored 20 goals and gave 15 assists. There are instances where the columns names will not be the same, but the content of the column are actually the same. So to join them, you have to actually specify the names of the column. That's one way. The other way, you can just rename the column. If you don't know how to rename columns, you can just check in this my playlist. You're going to see one of the video where I teach how to rename columns. So, but one way and the very fast way is to just use left on and right on to actually specify the specific column that you want to merge on. So let's say let me adjust, let me change the name of the table again. Let me change this one to scorer ID. Let's name our resulting data frame df, and we say pd dot merge player goals. If we run this, see, it's going to give us error. This is because there is no matching columns. So to solve this problem, you can just use left on and right on. You can say left on left on left on. This first table is actually the left and the second is the right. So left on ID and right on scorer ID. So that's it. But the only difference is that it creates two tables, or sorry, it creates two columns, but the columns are just same, so you can drop one and take the other. So that's it for inner merging. The next